Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Let's Go Sportsball podcast. I'm Ron with my co-host Owen.
God, your breath smells like beer. Alright, so welcome back to our unhinged ramblings about grown men causing injuries to one another over a ball or a piece of rubber.
Yeah, it basically works that way.
That sounds really weird without context. So,
yes. Moving on, so we're going to talk about topics we're going to talk about today are the NFL. We're going to cover some basketball in the NBA as well as
March Madness.
'Cause
it's been crazy lately. Some big stuff coming out of there.
We'll also cover a couple more things of the MLB.
Yeah, we don't really have much in there besides opening weekend. The Rays won, so I am now officially delusional.
And the Indians have won 2 of the last 3.
Cool. So yeah, I am officially delusional, and I believe that the Rays are going to win inside of like a small park. So yay, Sportsball. All right, and then we'll talk a bit about the NHL because we do have some stuff in there. So
a couple of things.
Yeah,
starting off first,
let's get started.
Finally, Russell Wilson has found his team.
Yep.
After traveling to Cleveland first, and then now traveling over to New York. He spent 2 days with the Browns, or a day with the Browns, and a day with the Giants, and he officially has signed with the Giants on a 1-year, $10.5 million guaranteed deal. Seems a little low. At this point, he's already just like Aaron Rodgers. I probably shouldn't have said that name.
Except not as old.
Yes, but he's exceptional. I believe he has won a Super Bowl, as well as I know for sure Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl.
No, really? Yeah.
So both of them have at least Hall of Fame class, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
at
Russell
this point,
Wilson,
I don't know if he should still be in the NFL, but
yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson is pretty good. Pretty good quarterback. And I gotta say, the Giants have really been stacking up on quarterbacks recently because I mean, they got him, they got famous Jameis, and stuff like that. So I guess and I mean, their quarterback was pretty rough this year, like all their quarterbacking stuff. So at the end of the day, I feel like they're doing. I don't think they're doing too bad with like trying to get better quarterbacks and stuff like that. You want to get Malik Neighbors to develop properly because he's doing well at so far.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll just have to see. Speaking of quarterbacks, the Atlanta Falcons will not move Kirk Cousins. Now, Captain Kirk, he certainly had a year with Atlanta. I mean, he was coming off of a year with the Vikings, and then he came to Atlanta, and it was weird because he actually had a pretty decent year at first.
Yeah.
And then like for the second half of the year, he was just terrible. And so I gotta say, like, a lot of people were very upset that Atlanta ended up picking Michael Penix Jr. in the draft. But I mean, after Kirk got benched because of his not very good play, I think they had a really good idea to draft Penix because I mean, Kirk did have. I mean, he's on the older side. And so I guess they're like, look, if he ends up getting injured or if he falls off a cliff because, older quarterbacks aren't as good, then, you're like aren't always going to be as good as they once were. Then, we have this young guy. And in his sample size, Penix was really not that bad at quarterback. So, but, I mean, them not moving him, I don't really know if that's the smartest move, but we'll have to see because I'm not a big Falcons guy.
It's going to come up to how well Penix is going to do. If he can do well, then it will be a great move. At the same time, who knows?
Yeah.
You just got to wait until next season. Free agent, wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, a former Bills,
and he was with the Vikings too, I believe.
Think so.
Yeah, because he had that one touchdown.
Oh gosh,
that was awesome.
Oh man, I can see it now. But he has reached an agreement on a 3-year, $69 million deal, including $26 million guaranteed with the New England Patriots.
Wow. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if that is a good move. It's hard to say whether it is going to be a good move. He is a great wide receiver. We just watched him like this past year.
Yeah.
And he was really great in the last season. I just don't know how it's going to work out on this one, especially when you don't have a quarterback that is as good as
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like I understand what the Patriots are going for because they're still trying to rebuild following the Tom Brady era, and so they're gonna be doing their best to try to get back to that form. Being that team that everybody hated for being so dang good. And so I think picking up Stephon Diggs, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I understand why they're doing it. Maybe it's a bit of an overpay. Maybe it wasn't the right time to do so. I don't know because I'm not a Pats fan. I mean, who is outside of New England? So I think that it could work, especially since their quarterback is still young. So it'll be good to have a guy that you can competently pass to and whatnot. So I think this could work. I think it could work,
hopefully,
but hopefully not because it's New England, and I'm tired of seeing the Empire trying to come back.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Empire, because there's the new freaking one, the Kansas.
Watch it now.
I'm so used to calling them the other thing. The Kansas City Chiefs.
There you go.
Are re-signing Kareem Hunt, the running back Kareem Hunt, to a
Browns legend.
Shut up. To a 1-year, $1.5 million deal worth up to $2.5 million with incentives. Honestly, I gotta say this
only
is
1.5.
Yeah, I gotta say that's a heck of a bargain for this guy. I mean, Kareem Hunt had an amazing year with Kansas City. He did a great job.
200
playing off of guys like Mahomes and whatnot. So I think this is a great move to re-sign him. And again, it's for a pretty good bargain.
728 yards on 200 carries, which is about 3.6 yards per carry. 7 touchdowns, 23 catches for 176 receiving yards in 13 regular season games. And you only signed him to $1.5 million?
Yeah.
That's, in my opinion, that's a little low.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been saying, it's a really good bargain. So I mean, I think it's a great move by Kansas City. I don't like giving them credit because I hate them. So, but yeah, I mean, he may be getting underpaid, but I mean, this shows that he likes the winning culture that they have now. So and that's the kind of thing that happens when you have this good of a team. Players are going to be taking lower salaries in order for them to keep wearing that jersey. So, I mean, it's a weird move, like for him to want to stay for that little, but it's a great move by the general manager to keep him around for such a low area. Because I mean, they're wanting to keep building towards like trying to get another Super Bowl, which nobody wants. Please don't.
Please.
But yeah, so I think it's a great move. I think it's a great move to keep Kareem around.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a great move that they kept him around. Try to get him a little bit more money next time, especially when you have over 720 yards. There is a Buffalo extension. Buffalo Bills and cornerback Christian Benford have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $76 million extension. It's not gonna. That's a really great one in my opinion.
Yeah.
They definitely do need him back and everything. So hopefully that will work out best for them.
Yeah,
especially with the Bills trying to bring back, try to get them get them a Super Bowl. That should help them out, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Benford, he had a great year with Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo was pretty good this season.
They were great this season.
I don't know. The postseason came back in my head, and I just want to cry in a corner. But yeah, so I mean, I think they did a great job with this move. I mean, Benford's a great cornerback, so this is gonna work out well for them, hopefully. And I'm liking what the Bills are doing this offseason. They're starting to build more, and Josh Allen. If Josh Allen manages to keep his form, he should. Hopefully, we'll see the Lombardi come up to Buffalo.
I would like to see that, and I know they would have a huge party here.
Oh yeah. They are gonna have so many tables, and there are gonna be so many broken tables, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna have so many broken ribs because I'm gonna be jumping on tables.
No.
And then there are going to be there's going to be a lot of money in hospital bills because I'm going to have so many broken ribs because I'm jumping on so many tables.
Okay, but
And then, okay, I'll stop.
it would still be great.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can bring back that winning team again next year.
Yeah, speaking of winners, the Baltimore Ravens have extended head coach John Harbaugh to a 3-year extension. Honestly, great move. I mean, John Harbaugh's...
It's not a bad move. He's been pulling in so many great...
Yeah.
Like, he's been coaching so many great players on that team. As much as I don't like the Ravens, I still have mad respect for him and how much he's done to that team. Brought him to a Super Bowl multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great move. I mean, John Harbaugh.
Don't you dare say that name.
Jeez, okay, calm down. I mean, he's a great coach. He's done a lot for that city. He's done a lot for Baltimore, and they love him over there. So I think it's a great move to try to extend him. I mean, is there really more we can say for this guy? I mean, he's left one heck of a legacy over there.
Oh yeah. So this one, in my opinion, is pretty big. 49ers owe wide receiver Brandon Ayuk a $22.85 million bonus if he's on their roster by, as of this recording, tomorrow, April 1st. Once the 49ers pay the bonus, any trade talks for Ayuk would be off, and he would be expected to spend the 2025 season in San Francisco. Tuesday looms. It's only one day away as of this recording and everything. And as far as I'm concerned, and everything that I have seen, I do not see anything. Have you seen anything from...
I haven't seen anything.
So, as of right now, they still haven't paid him. So, right now, they're still waiting to see what they have to say. And do you think they're going to pay him? Or do you think they are going to try and find a trade during that time?
I think it's kind of tough to say. I mean, Ayuk's a great. I mean, he's a great wide receiver, and so and the 49ers, they're coming off of a really bad year, so compared to the year prior. So I mean, they're gonna want to try to keep him around, but at the same time, there are a lot of good players on there are some decent players on the market that could fetch a good return. So I think it would be. I don't think it would be too bad for them to keep him around, but I would not be surprised, nor would I be disappointed if they tried if they shopped him, and if they got some kind of trade. I mean, if they did here, have Brandon Ayuk and we'll take Isaiah Williams, then I'd be like, what are you doing?
And the thing is, they're going to, if they do make a trade, it's probably going to be like any other trade there is or that has been going on, where it has been just draft picks. Like, majority of the NFL this year has just been draft picks.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what in the world is going on, because if you're just doing draft picks, then it would be pretty. It's not going to work out as much because you're going to have so many draft picks.
Yeah.
So, what else do you have?
I also have that the Las Vegas Raiders are signing former Texans and former Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Knew that was gonna come back
linebacker Devin White to a 1-year deal. So Devin White, he's a Super Bowl legend.
Here we go.
Because he got that final interception against Mahomes that sealed the deal, and then all the players started cheering in front of the camera. That was awesome. But yeah,
and of course Matthews getting the unsportsmanlike conduct for giving the peace sign.
Yeah. So Devin White at the age of 27 recorded 19 total tackles, 15 solo, and 7 games last season. And yeah, I mean, he's going to Las Vegas. So what are your thoughts on this move?
It's a great move. They've got Max Crosby on one end, and now they're going to have him at the linebacker position. Hopefully it will help out and work very well for them. It just depends on how well he can play. If he's done that good just in the last season, then that will help them out quite a bit, especially with Max Crosby being on the edge you better watch out for that boy.
Absolutely.
Because he is a beast. Well, one of the beasts
Yeah.
of the NFL.
Yeah. So what do you have?
I've got some out of the NCAA, out of college football. Of course, he is a former NFL player.
Yeah.
I can't really get rid of this. The University of Colorado has extended Deion Sanders' contract as a head coach through the 2029 season. Wow. Sanders will be one of the highest paid coaches in the country, earning, get this, $54 million.
Wow.
Over 5 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
I honestly don't know what to say, because
You can say what I said. Wow.
yes, but to explain this, how he's going to be one of the highest paid coaches in the NCAA. That's just crazy. You have so many of them that are doing that, so who knows what could happen next. He has done very well with that team.
Oh, absolutely.
And bringing them out of the pit that they were in, and hopefully one day making it to the playoffs. They didn't make it this year, but he's done very well. Look at what he did with Jackson State. Same thing. Kind of brought them up out of the depths, and somehow they have done very, very well in that. In your opinion, what do you have to say? Do you think this is a good move, keeping him there, and hopefully he'll get some more recruits coming in?
Well, I'm still kind of shaky on college football. Like, I'm still trying to understand it a little more, who's who and whatnot. But I mean, just from what you said alone, I think this is a great move by Colorado. I mean, keeping him around is definitely going to be paramount, so that they can keep building towards a better future for their program. I mean, NFL legend. So I think this is a great idea. And I mean, for that much money, I mean, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, 54 over 5 years. And I'm not even going to try to do the math on that.
Yeah, because I don't know. I already failed like two things in math in high school, so frankly I don't want to. So we're moving on to the NBA now. So some big news recently came out that the Memphis Grizzlies have fired head coach Taylor Jenkins after a 44-29 record, and I gotta say that is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a good move. Like I'm not a Grizzly fan. I really don't like the Grizzlies, but. Is that a good move? I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. They are currently the 5th seed in the West. So I mean, I guess they're fine in the West. I'm never gonna let that joke go. But yeah, so I mean, he hasn't done terrible. So I just don't know if it's a smart idea.
It probably wasn't a smart idea, but we also don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Anything could be going on.
We'll get to that a little bit later with another league.
But with specifically how they've been doing, understand that they have a 44-30 record currently right now. When they were released, when he was released, it was 44-29. They just lost, I think, last night or somewhere. Wake up. They just lost last night. I don't know to who, but hopefully they can pull that out and it will get us
go to the games and see. Okay, no, don't click on the advertisements. Ron, what are you doing?
Shush. So they lost.
Okay, go back another day.
It might have been another day.
Just give us a moment, folks.
They lost to
LA.
the
They lost to the Lakers. Of course they lost to the Lakers.
I was expecting to go back and see probably either OKC, Houston. I was expecting somewhat to see some of the lower seed teams, and then LA, who's one spot ahead of you.
Of course the Lakers beat them. It's like 2023 all over again.
Oh, jeez, please.
Oh, I will never stop laughing about that team. So I think this does certainly bring up a big question here, Ron. Are they still fine in the West?
Okay.
All right. So some other big news is that the Philadelphia 76ers have been officially eliminated from playoff contention. And it makes sense. I mean, after losing Embiid and after losing PG-13, that's
it.
After losing Paul George, that's a rough loss. And so I mean, and Philly was already struggling this year. So now with that, they have been eliminated. So it's kind of hard to see. This is the first time that they've missed out on the postseason since the 2016-2017 season.
Which is crazy, but when you have so many injuries, you can't really do much about that. Speaking of
the process has failed.
Speaking of injuries, there's a couple of injuries that we will cover. Of course, one of them very recent. Another one has been going on for a while. Or I guess
let's just
cover your days.
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns All-Star Kevin Durant is expected to miss at least 1 week through the team's 3-game road trip with a left ankle sprain. Right now, the Suns are currently a game and a half out of the play-in tournament to actually get to the playoffs and possibly get in. 1.5 games.
They're cooked.
It's going to be hard to get them out of that hole, and we'll see what. Hopefully, he comes back recovered. If they do make it, that's going to be huge. But right now, where they're 1.5, where they're a game and a half out, they've lost 3 in a row compared to Sacramento, who is right ahead of them with who's only lost 1 game. So it's going to be a fun one to see how that goes. We'll cover the rankings and what the playoff picture looks like here in a minute.
Yeah, I mean the KD injury is definitely going to hurt Phoenix's chances of wanting to get back up there. And I mean it does suck because
especially when they got the 3-game road trip coming up.
Yeah, so another injury. This one's going to be huge.
Ooh, this one is.
So Damian Lillard is out indefinitely due to a blood clot in his leg, and he is currently on blood thinning medication to stabilize the clot. So this is a giant loss for the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean Damian Lillard, he's a great player. He's been doing good with the Bucks, so this is going to hurt.
It is going to hurt them, but at the same time, they still have great players. That
I mean they still have Giannis, but I mean
and they're in 6th right now in the East, still trying to get back a little bit more, or trying to get up a little bit more. They started up at the top towards the beginning of the season, and then they just started dropping from there. So we'll just have to see how they do. They're 40-34 currently right now, 6th in the East, and they're about four games ahead of the Atlanta Hawks. So it's going to be a fun one coming up for the rest of the season, especially if the season's ending in 2 weeks, I think.
I believe so.
So,
But correct. Another big injury is LaMelo Ball being out for the season due to 2 minor procedures to address ankle and wrist issues, and so he's out. The Hornets have lost him, and I don't know. The Hornets suck, so at this point,
Hornets are one of the 4 teams in the East that have been eliminated.
Yeah,
and they've been on a 5-game losing streak, but of course Philadelphia has been on a 8-game losing streak too.
Yeah, I mean this is basically just that meme of "Stop, he's already dead." Poor guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff picture. So
as it stands right now, in the East Division, 9 and 10 will face each other, as well as 7 and 8. 9 and 10 currently in the East are the Chicago Bulls at number 9 and the Miami Heat at number 10. Winner of that one will move on to face the loser of the 7-8 seed, which would be 7 seed is Atlanta, 8 seed is Orlando Magic. And then whoever wins out of the winner from 9-10 and the loser from 7-8 will move on to face the number 1 team in the East, Cleveland Cavaliers.
What up?
Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2, the Boston Celtics will take on whoever the winner is of the 7 or 8 seed. Number 3, you've got New York Knicks, who would be facing off against the number 6 team, Milwaukee Bucks. And then you've got 4 and 5 facing off against each other in the East. Number 4 is Indiana Pacers. And at number 5, the Detroit Pistons.
I'm still surprised that they managed to make it back. I mean, after last season,
It's a big,
we keep saying it.
Big bounce back.
They were a mess last season, but I mean, they've certainly bounced back. So honestly, I can't say I'm not happy. I mean, I'm not like jumping for joy, but it's like, hey, good on them, kind of thing,
Yep.
It's like with the Magic last season in the postseason. It's just like, I mean, you don't have to be a fan, but you're like, I can't blame them. They're good, but now they don't look. But now they're not good, so whatever.
Yeah.
So meanwhile in the West, the current play-in picture looks like the 9th-seeded Dallas Mavericks. God, how are they still here?
How
are they still?
Especially after
how are they still alive?
After losing Luka.
And AD isn't even around, so
Oh Lord.
They're cooked.
Well, he actually might be coming back. I think he did get brought up from the G League after his little hiatus down there.
Yeah.
So
The 9th-seeded Mavs are going to be taking on the 10th-seeded Sacramento Kings, and then
how are they ranked 10th?
I don't know. The West is not okay.
It's confusing.
Everybody sucks. So then the 7th-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves will be facing off against the Los Angeles Clippers, and the winner of the 9th and 10th-seeded game will face off against the loser of the 7th and 8th-seeded team, and the winner will face off against
number 1 seed.
Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. We'll be facing against the number 1 seed in the OKC Thunder. They have been a beast lately.
They have, especially when you look back at their record in the West. They currently have like the best record in NBA this year or this season, which is
62-12 at the time of this recording,
which is crazy. Cleveland's only about 2 games. About 2 or 3, 2.5 maybe games back from them.
Hey,
so
man, we got
2.5.
Gotta let them know.
Let them know. But yeah, Cleveland's about 2.5 spots back from being in the number 1 seed in the league.
Yeah, and as for the other seed, they will take the 7th seed and face against the Houston Rockets at number 2. I'm still surprised they managed.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised
they're trying to make a comeback. They're doing really good, especially this season.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know how. I haven't seen anything for Brooks. I think his name is getting suspended because of fighting.
Yeah, I mean, hey, as long as he's not groping LeBron James,
well, yeah,
and being like, I poke bears, sir. That is not poking the bear. You are straight up harassing that man.
Yeah,
you're just like
you done.
Like,
I'm sorry. You done poked the bear, and he fought back, and you were mauled.
And again, he didn't just poke.
He messed with him.
He's probably got to go into HR for that one. And
yeah.
So
I'm about to report you to HR.
For what? You're the one that hits me.
Oh, yeah.
Is that why? Oh, God. Forehead reveal.
Pipe head.
No, I don't have a 5 head. Screw you.
Okay, who's number 3? I'm on now.
Why are we like this?
Pull it together.
This is why we have a podcast. All right. So anyway, the third seed in the West are the Denver Chicken Nuggets, and they're facing off against the
Golden Fleece.
Shut up. And they're going to be facing against the Golden State Warriors, who are somehow still alive.
Who last time we looked were actually in 7th. The last time we looked at this, which was just about a day or 2 ago, they were in 7th, so now they have switched spots. So Golden State is starting to make a little bit of a comeback.
No.
I don't
Not with he who must not be named.
Yeah, I really don't want to see that. Please keep them and him out of the playoffs.
Anyway.
But they still have had a great season.
Oh, yeah.
Considering that they have lost Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
But
so the 4th seeded Los Angeles Lakers will take on the 5th seeded Memphis Grizzlies, a repeat of 2023.
Yeah.
Hopefully the memes will repeat, and hopefully Ja does not do anything stupid or talk.
Ja doesn't really do much of talking. He's more of like
No, dude. Trust me, he talked a lot.
He didn't talk as much as Brooks did, though.
Well, no, but I mean, trust me. If you saw the interviews that he was doing, where he was, I mean, I keep joking about it, but he had that who are you most scared of? I'm scared of the Celtics. Nobody in the West? Nah, I'm fine in the West. He was not fine in the West. Yeah. And he had all those other moments where like they were all just talking smack, and they were just like, hey, look at us. We're begging to get our crap shoved in. So la-di-da. But so I think this will be a very interesting postseason.
Oh man,
so
it's gonna be huge.
My current predictions, honestly, because I like chaos, I'm going to go the Cavaliers versus the Lakers in the final.
I can agree to you on that just a little bit. Watching how the Cavs have played this year, nearly breaking a record that has stood for a while with the Golden State Warriors with their multiple games win streak. Having that, it was so close. Or having even that close to having the best record in NBA since the Golden State Warriors as well. It's going to be hard to root against. And we're not doing this because we're biased, but you look at the stats and how it is, and how they have played.
We got to let them know. What up?
But you have to look at how they've played and how well they have been this year. You cannot deny that they are one of the most, if not the most dominant team in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
The only other one that I would say is a dominant team is OKC, which is why I may stick with the Cavaliers and OKC in the finals, but I may have a backup as Cavaliers could face, I would say, Houston Rockets in the finals. With Houston, how good Houston has been doing, it'd be great. Yes, LeBron is injured right now.
He's not injured.
That's why
it's gonna be like Nikita Kucherov being on the not on the LTIR because that was completely unexpected, but it's gonna be all day. But yeah, I mean, my main reason for picking LA is simply because of the fact that they've been on a tear ever since they did Devil Magic and got Luka. Because I mean, if you look at the way that they were earlier in the season, they were a mess. They weren't going anywhere except for the bottom, and people were happy. And then they managed to somehow pull off the Doncic trade, and Doncic has meshed extremely well with guys like LeBron and stuff like that, and King James is going to try to pull himself another ring before he retires. Because and stuff like that. But I don't know. I personally still think that the Cavs would end up taking the series, but I don't know. It's going to be a very awesome postseason.
I'm definitely going to be watching,
provided everyone is healthy.
I'm going to be watching quite a bit of that going on.
So I'll probably stick with NHL more because
I'm going to try to watch both.
Yeah.
But you can cover all the NHL playoffs. I'll cover most of the NBA playoffs.
Teamwork!
That works. But hopefully this year is going to go pretty well. I don't know if I want to call it chaos. If you had a dark horse in the playoff picture currently right now, who would you say is the dark horse to possibly either give an upset or at least make it to conference finals or the finals in general?
You talking like East or West or both?
Both. I want a dark horse for both.
I don't know. I mean, there are some good teams here and there, but there are also some really bad teams. I think a dark horse, and I'm just saying this for the sake of chaos.
Oh, God.
All right. So just bear with me here. Honestly, I feel like the Knicks might be a dark horse candidate.
That's not a bad shot. That's not a bad call.
The horse might be a little lighter than usual, but
if I had to go in the East, for me, I would say a dark horse might be. I could see Atlanta possibly. Ooh. The only reason I'm saying Atlanta is because you've got Trae Young. If I had to have a second one, I would go with the opponents for the Knicks with the Bucks. Even though they don't have Damian Lillard, I still think they could make a run. A little bit of a run.
Those are some interesting choices. Also, I won't lie. I just want to see more Knicks memes. Like if they end up just imagine if they end up taking home the ship. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the memes? Oh my gosh! I remember that one Disney movie where the little spirit girl's like, I've been messing with this team for decades, and then it's just her screwing with the Knicks. That had me weaving.
But
yeah, so
going on to the West.
for the West?
If I had to go to the West,
Ooh.
I would say Golden State.
Ooh,
I'm sticking
okay.
by that because Golden State, even though they may not have done well, and yes, about 9 years ago.
And with he who must not be named being on the
Yes.
squad.
Yes, but
Jimmy Butler.
about 9 years ago, 10 years ago for the 2015-16 season, they did blow a 3-0 lead to Cleveland, who would become the eventual champions. 3-1, but same
Yeah,
thing.
careful. I was about to say, wait a minute, though.
I was like,
it
wait
was
a minute,
3-1
3-1.
because Cavs fans still won't shut up about it. Anyway.
Sorry. But I'd say Golden State still has a chance, even though they don't have Klay Thompson. Yes, they have he who shall not be named.
You called him hee-haw? What are you talking like a donkey now?
Shut up. But even though they have both of those guys on there, I still think they can make a run. How far I think they could go, I would say they make it to the finals, or not the finals. I should say they could make it to the conference finals, and I think it will either come down to them facing Houston or OKC. We don't know where it goes from there. Who plays? I think it depends. If the lower seed wins, they play the number 1 seed. If the higher seed, it's somewhere around there. We'll try and keep it posted, but
Yeah. My dark horse candidate for the West, I'm gonna say the Grizzlies. I really don't like them, but at the same time, they've been a very even with their record, I think they've been a pretty solid team. And if they get a coach that keeps up that form, and if John Morant doesn't do anything stupid, and if he keeps his form because he's a great ball player, I think the Grizzlies have a shot of doing something doing something good in the postseason. We'll definitely have to see.
We'll have to wait and see. The playoffs are only 2 weeks away.
Yep.
Speaking of playoffs / tournaments, this is about to be a huge. Oh Lord, another thing.
Okay. I forgot we had March Madness.
Little bit of NBA. The Final Four has been set. So on Saturday started the Elite Eight, which is the final 8 teams that are in the NCAA tournament. Florida overtook Texas Tech and won 84-79. Duke won against Alabama, 85-65. Sunday's games, Houston absolutely. They did I will say, trust me. I don't know what happened with Tennessee's defense and everything that they. Get your head back up here. I'm going to show your forehead, bud.
Anyway.
But Houston did an amazing job, as much as I needed Tennessee to win. But Houston did an amazing job, won 69-50.
Nice. Not nice, but
And
nice.
Auburn overtook Michigan State in a 70-64 victory. This now comes down to the Final Four. So the Final Four is set, and this is the first time in I think since the 2008 NCAA tournament that all Final Four teams are number 1 seeds.
Wow, yeah.
And right now, it's Florida and Auburn facing each other.
That's going to be a good game.
Houston and Duke.
Oh, that's good. That one's going to be good too. This is going to be an awesome Final Four.
I'm sticking with the 2 and my champion that I predicted. I'm sticking with Duke and Auburn in the final, and Duke winning it all.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I think Auburn and Duke will take it. Who do I think is going to win? I think it's tough. I'm gonna go Auburn.
Now here's the thing: they do have. We don't know how one of their star players is doing. I watched that game yesterday. As of this recording, I watched that game yesterday. He did go out with an injury for a little bit, so we don't know if he is 100% healed or not. So I think either way, whether they have him or not, it's still going to be a close game. But I'm still thinking Auburn's going to pull it out.
Yeah.
Especially having all 4 number 1 seeds that have shown they can be dominant throughout the season. You look back at Duke, even though they didn't have Cooper Flagg at one point, they still did an amazing job. And they still won their games, all that kind of stuff. So now you just have to figure out what's going to happen now with the Final Four. I'm sticking with Duke and Auburn being in the Final 2. and Duke winning that championship. Right now, currently, the spread is Florida has a 2.5 spread. The total over-under is 160.5.
Gambling, yay!
And Auburn is the money line is Auburn is plus 125. The spread for the Duke Houston game, Duke is favored by 5.5, and the total over under is 136.5. That's
Sportsball.
it's crazy, but it happens sometimes.
So, before we get into before we get into the into what we have for the MLB, I have another little game. So, guess the season when all these teams were champions.
I'm screwed.
The Super Bowl champions were. Oh God. Were the Dallas Fellas? Were the Dallas Cowgirls? The World Series champions were the Toronto Blue Jays. NBA champions were the Chicago Bulls, and the Stanley Cup champions were the Montreal Canadiens.
20.
No.
Oh wait, they didn't win it in 2000s.
You said 20, I said no.
Well, I just remembered that the Dallas Cowboys haven't won for like a long time. I'm gonna say it's 19. I want to say it's in the 90s. Because I think that's the last time they won.
Yeah.
95?
Nope. Close though.
Oh, 96.
No.
4?
No.
92.
No.
93.
Yep, 1993.
Oh,
See,
that
I
was
mainly
his-
remember that because the Montreal Canadiens won it in 1993.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. You know, the year that
I was looking at the I don't know.
All right, so let's talk about MLB.
So breaking news just as of like almost 30 minutes ago of this recording. Braves outfielder Jurickson Profar has been suspended 80 games, which is nearly half of the season right now. Well, now majority of the season. No, half. He's been suspended 80 games for violating MLB's PED violation, performance enhancing drug policy. He has that's going to be something huge.
yeah.
So, another one coming up from speaking of the Braves. This is hilarious. Jesse Chavez is being called up to the Braves per multiple reports. He was in the minor leagues. He has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So, him being called back up to the Braves, to the major leagues, hopefully that helps the Braves out, even though they have done well over the past couple of years, even after losing Freddie Freeman. Had to think.
They lost Frederick.
After losing him, it's still going to be something huge. I think it's still going to help them out, I think.
Yeah.
But the season is still young. We're only about 3 or 4 games in, and then we still have like 159 more games.
We have
to go,
a lot of
so
games. So
there's a lot of games.
So continuing on, Diamondbacks left-hander Jordan Montgomery will be having Tommy John surgery next week, and therefore he will miss the 2025 season and possibly a notable chunk of the 2026 season as well. So that could be a tough loss for Arizona.
Ooh. That is going to be a tough loss. This has just come through. Profar, the one that we had mentioned earlier that was suspended for the 80 games due to the PED policy violations, he will not be eligible to play in the playoffs if the Braves qualify.
Wow.
After his positive test for chorionic I'm not even going to try it.
Chorionic gonadotropin.
Whatever he said.
Sports drugs.
So that is huge.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's been the last few games or what he was doing in in spring training, but either
Shooting
way,
something up. Apparently.
that is still. God dang it!
What you? I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah,
Nope.
but that's still going to be huge for them if he is a huge asset,
Yes.
especially if he's a great batter. So, what other? I don't think I had very much except for those few things.
I mean, I don't really have much else outside
Couple
of
signings.
outside of that. So I do have Jose Trevino has been signed to a contract extension by the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh Lord.
And it is worth $15 million in a 3-year contract extension. And this also includes a club option for the 2028 season.
That ain't bad. That is
yeah.
not bad, especially with how great Trevino is.
Yeah, Trevino's been very solid for Cincy, and I know that you love the Reds, so.
Hey, they're a part of Kentucky.
Do you? No. Okay, this man does not know how geography works.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's a running joke. Do you realize that? Because Cleveland and Cincinnati are they are rivals.
Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
All right, move on. Moving
Hey,
on.
I got to do a Clue reference in a video. Dang, I can't do the Tim Curry voice though. I'm really dead inside about that.
Moving on to the NHL, first thing we got to cover is the Great Eight. The Great Eight.
Yep.
Five
goals.
Five
baby.
goals away. We were supposed to record yesterday. Fortunately, ran into a little bit of a technical issue.
Yeah, the video wouldn't save, so this is take number 2.
So
But
he
yeah.
was originally had 6 goals, and then last night he scored 5 after we were just sitting around. So now he is 5 goals away from beating his record, from beating the great ones, Wayne Gretzky's record.
Yep.
I am telling. There is no doubt that he is going to get this.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Now, where you know a little bit more about the about hockey and everything. Do goals in the postseason count as well? Is this just career goals? Is that correct?
Yeah, career goals. I mean, Gretzky had a lot of he had a lot of goals in the postseason, and he had a lot of goals in the regular season. So like altogether, then yeah, definitely. So
definitely he's going to, because they've already clinched. He's going to get at least what? He's got 2 weeks, so he's got at least 3 or 4 more. Well, I'll look and see how many more games they have. But
I heard that he might end up breaking the record sometime in like very, very early April at the pace that he's going. And I mean, with 5 goals remaining, I mean, honestly, I do not doubt that for a minute. I mean, from what I've heard, apparently he might break it against Chicago, like whenever they play.
I'm sorry, but they lost to Buffalo.
That's it. Cancel the parade. They suck. But yeah, so I mean, Ovechkin is definitely breaking that record, unless something bad happens.
So
Pray to God it doesn't.
There is currently 9 games remaining for Washington. There's 9 games remaining.
I really don't want the season to end because I love hockey so much.
Hey, at least it still goes on. Trust me, I've been waiting for MLB to start.
Yeah.
But you look back, they got 9 games. If he's averaging He's averaging about a goal, maybe goal and a half per game.
Something like that. Maybe like a goal every couple of games or so.
That's what I'm saying. So like a goal every couple of games or so. If he's doing that, so about a half goal.
Half goal? How does that even work?
Shut up. You know what
How does that even work?
You know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Okay, if he's going...
No, okay, no, I do get what you mean. It's just like when you say half goal, I'm trying to think
Averaging.
like, how does half goal work? Do you just like get the puck halfway and they're like, all right, fine, you get 1.5. All right,
but you understand what I'm saying. If he's averaging about a half goal to about a goal and a half per game or so, you have to say, I'd say he gets it. If people are predicting by Chicago, I say he at least gets it by when they face Carolina on April 10th.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I give him a few more games just because he's going to have to get... If you do it by Carolina, or by Chicago, if they're saying that, tomorrow when they play, he has to get 2 goals in that game.
Yeah.
In Carolina, he has to get at least 2 goals in that game. And then against Chicago, he's got to get at least 1.
Yeah.
So you have to have at least 2 goals for 2 of those games. I don't know if he's going to get it, but it's going to be a push that they're going to have to try, or that he's going to have to try and get. I understand they're passing him the puck every single time.
Yeah.
But they got to get it on one side and get it over to him faster than what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Ovechkin, ESPN Plus is debuting an alternate broadcast fully focused on Ovechkin.
so
called the OVCast, and this alternate broadcast will follow Ovechkin's pursuit of the all-time goals record, offering unique coverage for the remaining ESPN-produced Capitals games. Honestly, that's a move.
So they're just going to have a camera following him around the whole time.
Yeah, that's gonna be a headache.
I'm sorry, that's a little funny.
Yeah, speaking of some good feats.
God. Here we go.
This guy.
You warned me earlier.
This guy won playoff series win, and he thinks he can complain. So, Ryan McDonough of the Tampa Bay Lightning, you might have heard of him, has recently gotten his 1,000th game. He has played 1,000 games in the NHL. And so
1001 now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, 1001. But he recently got it. He recently finally got 1,000. So honestly,
that was awesome.
You love to see it. I mean, Ryan McDonough, he's been a great player. I mean, he's been an amazing leader.
He's been in the NHL for.
He's been in the NHL. He's been in the NHL since 2011. Drafted in 12th overall by Montreal, of all teams, strangely enough.
Somehow.
And in the first round of the 2007 NHL entry draft, he started playing for New York for a good chunk of his career, and then he came to Tampa Bay in 2018. Played for us for several years. He won 2 Stanley Cups with us in 2020 and 2021. Then he played for Nashville for a couple years, and then he came home. The return of my glorious king.
Oh,
baby. But yeah, I mean, he's been great. He's been underrated on the back end. I mean, like, everybody's like, oh, Cale Makar, oh, Quinn Hughes. But I mean, I think Brian McDonough's been an extremely underrated blue liner this year. So you love to see it. I mean, he's certainly had a great legacy. Being an alternate captain with Tampa for a while, and you know that Tampa Bay loves Ranger players named Ryan to be traded to them, so helps with their captain. So yeah, I think it's awesome to see him get 1,000 games. And
1,000 goals. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, that doesn't happen.
Watch it now.
Additionally, Braden Point of the Tampa Bay Lightning recently scored his 300th career NHL goal against the Utah Storm and Mormons after batting it out of midair.
How?
Because he's Braden freaking Point. I mean, Braden Point's he's an unbelievable player. I mean, I love the guy. He's been one of the most underrated players in the entire league, in my opinion. I mean, he's scored so many goals. He's an incredible player. Love the guy. I really thought he would have won Conn Smythe in 2020, because if you saw him that year, you're a Columbus fan. Sorry. I know Braden Point lives rent free in your head, but so I gotta say it's awesome,
buddy.
It's okay. You're that's not a cup ring. You're gonna kill me. So anyway,
but going on a little bit, some recent news as of earlier today. Nico Mikola has been fined $5,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct after taking a full ice slap shot in the final moments of a 4-2 Habs win.
Yep, he launched that baby down ice, hit a player, and they all went right for him.
I think they technically it missed the player.
No, I think it hit somebody. Okay, we're watching the video now. Blasts it, and it hit David Savard in the other end, and they all went right towards him. And I remember seeing Nick Suzuki, the captain of Montreal, sitting on the bench watching. He's just like, you're screwed, bud.
Now, hold on a minute. The camera was panning over, so we don't know truly if it did hit somebody. if it did hit him.
Well, no, because he went.
or-
He went down, and I'm pretty sure I saw. I think I might have seen the puck bounce off somebody. I don't know.
He could have been
I
dodging,
can't see
'cause-
anything.
Goes straight up. I think he was. It looks like he's dodging it just by the way, and then plus it goes off to the left.
Yeah, and then the camera pans to the goalie, and the goalie's just like, "Why would you do that?" And of course, everybody's going right over to him to have
wouldn't?
to have a nice friendly little chat. So I mean,
Friendly.
yeah, it's just like, "Hey bud, hey bud, hey bud, hey bud, hey bud." But yeah, so just really classless move. Like, come on, dude.
There's no room for that. It's
Definitely
just like
not.
in college football how you had all the flag plantings and everything at midfield. You knew people were going to get mad about that.
Yeah, the football gods do not look kindly upon those who disgrace an opposing team's logo. So,
Moving on.
in other news, 2 teams have been eliminated from the NHL postseason, and 2 teams have made it
Clinched.
in. So the first team that was eliminated were unfortunately the Nashville Predators. This was a long time coming, in my opinion. I mean, their offseason was extremely deceiving. I mean, they ended up getting a lot of guys like Stamkos. They got Marchessault, and they got Brady Shea. They re-signed Saros, and Barry Trotz was held as a god in Nashville. And then the season actually started, and we realized, oh wow, maybe having an extremely old core and getting rid of all of our young, electrifying youth is a terrible freaking idea.
Yeah, great
And so
job,
they've been
boys.
horrible. They can't score goals, and they suck. Ryan O'Reilly's like, man, this place sucks. Everything sucks. So they're gone.
Another
And
team that's been eliminated.
are the Seattle Kraken. Now, this squad,
You got close to the color almost on that
yeah, they have like a Brandon Tanev sweater on there for sale, so I'm probably gonna try to order that sometime
one. On sale.
on sale because he got traded, and I like Brandon Tanev, so it's fine because he goes.
Oh, Lord.
So the Seattle Kraken have been eliminated from playoff contention, and they're going to miss the postseason for the 3rd time in their 4 NHL seasons. Honestly, I mean, this team...
They've been around for 4 years.
Yeah, and I mean, their one playoff series was back in 2023 where they ended up taking down the Colorado Avalanche in 7 games, the defending Cup champions, and... yeah, I mean, that was an awesome... Like, I'm not even talking as a salty Tampa fan that was upset that we lost. I mean, that was an awesome series. But I mean, ever since then, Seattle's just been kind of a mess. I mean, I am curious about their future because they do have those those 2 first-round picks that they got from the Bjork trade and Gord trade, and of course, they have guys like Shaden Wright starting to develop a little bit and stuff like that. I'm liking what I'm seeing for some of their guys. And I mean, Montour's been all right.
Yeah.
But, I think they really need to address goaltending because Phil Grubauer has been an absolute mess on the back end. So, I mean, in net. So, Seattle has a lot of stuff to work on this offseason. I really hope that they can get it all taken care of because I do like them. And I mean, they're able to, and they're doing well with guys like Capo Caco, who's definitely come.
What? How did you say his name?
Capo Caco.
Okay. I keep forgetting that we're not, like, names that sound weird to us are actually, like, normal names.
All right, buddy.
Hey,
don't be weird. So, the 2 teams that have clinched the postseason, and this one is no surprise to me, the Winnipeg Jets have clinched it, and honestly, this makes sense. I mean, they have such...
like,
they've had an amazing season this year. They had that giant win streak at the start of the year, only to be beaten by the Leafs and the Lightning. You might have heard of them and stuff like that. That was right in my ear. So
that was the point.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, so they're in now, and it makes sense. I mean, you have Connor Hellebuyck in net, basically being like, "No, you aren't getting past me. Stop now, hey, stop shooting on my net. Now, I will stop you if you keep shooting on my net."
So
making me upset. I will kill you. But yeah, I mean, he's been great.
Hellebuyck, watching back on his on the Four Nations face-off, he did during that.
Oh my goodness gracious, he was awesome.
He was awesome during that. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, but as in we USA. But he still did an amazing job, and he still carried that throughout the rest of the NHL. Well, I say rest of the NHL season. There's still some to go.
And I mean, they have great forwards. They have amazing defense. I'm hoping that they don't do what they did last year and blow it because, they did have that really bad series against Colorado. So we're going to have to see how Winnipeg does. I do like their chances. And another team whose chances I like are the Dallas Stars. They're the other team who made it. And honestly, wow. The Stars, the Stars are usually good.
I'm going to regret saying this. I'm surprised you haven't done the chant.
Oh, yeah. The salad bars made it in. Yeah, the salad bars.
Ow.
Salad bars.
Ow.
Yeah, so the salad bars have made it in, and honestly, good on them. I mean, getting Mikko Rantanen was a fantastic move during the trade deadline. I mean, he was bouncing around a lot, and he did not pan out well in Carolina, but he's done great in Dallas so far. I mean, and the rest of the team's been solid. I mean, Ottinger is back and returned to form. They're doing and keep in mind, they're doing this without Heiskanen.
Yeah.
They're doing this without their star defenseman.
Somehow.
I mean,
Somehow.
I mean, Miro Heiskanen's been great, but I mean, look at the rest of the team. They're still amazing. I mean, like, Matt Duchene has basically been making Nashville upset since they traded him. You have Jason Robertson, one of my favorite players in the league, absolutely tearing it up.
Yeah.
He's an amazing forward. And all of that, I mean, the Stars have been great this season. Good defense, good forwards, good goaltending. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think they do have a legitimate shot of making the cup. And going into other news before we talk about the standings and our predictions, Jeremy Swayman has been a mess in Boston. Let's not lie to ourselves, Ronald. The entire team has been an absolute dumpster fire this year,
especially after they basically traded away about their whole entire, every single person from their lines.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't try to trade Pasternak to the freaking Utah Hockey Club.
I was waiting for that.
Dude, could you imagine if they got rid of Pasta? The memes would have been amazing. The salt would have poured from the streets.
I was watching that, and it's like half of them we saw, or some of them we saw were other places. I don't even think Columbus made a move.
Besides getting I remember them making a couple, but I forgot.
Might have.
Yeah.
But you look, and the other teams are going in, and then it's just this one line: Boston
has traded away all their players,
that's what I was
for
waiting
Colin
for.
Blackwell.
I was waiting for them to say that.
I mean, I gotta say, probably the worst trade that they made was trading
Marchand.
No, not even that. I mean, their worst trade was arguably them trading away Mike Trout in exchange for Tom Brady and a 5th-round pick from the Jazz. I mean, that was a terrible move. I don't think they're ever going to win a green jacket. I mean, Serena Williams is going to be wanting to get traded out to Red Bull. So go. Come on, GM Jeff Gordon is going to be. He's going to get so fired, and he's going to have to start a new career alongside Mike Tyson.
Stop it.
Go Sportsball, baby.
Stop it.
Come on, you knew that was coming. How did you not? Okay, but anyway.
I did,
he has 33 total. So Jeremy Swayman has 33 total regulation losses in his career. 25 of them are from this season.
Boy.
God, he sucked. I mean, Linus Ullmark, getting rid of him was rough, and with how he's been playing in Ottawa, who we'll talk about in a minute. I mean, it's hard to see, and I mean, Swayman just hasn't been the same. And the last thing...
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we have 2 more things that we're going to talk about. Well, no, 3 things. One of them, Roman Josi, captain of the Predators, is out for the season due to an upper body injury.
Moving on.
As if they could not suffer more.
We do feel bad for him being out for the remainder of the season, but their season's already done.
Yeah, and the next thing is... So recently I saw a thing from Bar Down on Instagram that it talks about the 5 NHL coaches that have the most wins with one franchise. So at number 5 is Billy Ree with
I would say
Chicago.
Ray.
Billy Ray with 516 wins with the Chicago Blackhawks. There's something stuck in my teeth, so
just move on.
Stuck.
Okay,
Whatever.
Give me
And then. I mean, it makes. I don't really know much about him because that's a long time ago. Then you have, ironically, Barry Trotz with the Nashville Predators.
That I knew that was.
Yeah, with 557 coaching wins. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, he was there for a long time before he ended up winning a cup with Ovechkin and the Capitals in 2018. Then at number 3, this one always makes me smile. John Cooper with the Tampa Bay Lightning. You might have heard of him with 566 wins. I don't know. I really don't know how this man has not won the Jack Adams Award. I really don't. He's the longest current tenured coach with the NHL. He has been He's been incredible coach. Won 2 cups. He's also the guy that like everybody wants to play for, because I saw that poll and they were like, oh yeah, I'd love to play for Coop. I mean, he's great coach, amazing leader, great guy. Will not tolerate any shenanigans. I mean,
shenanigans.
He's a great guy, and if he just, I hate that he has not won the Jack Adams Award yet. It's bull crap.
Moving on.
And then Lindy Ruff with the Buffalo Sabres. Still don't know how that's possible. I didn't know the Sabres could win.
Okay, buddy, you better watch out before Mike comes.
He's not even here.
Good thing.
With 600 wins, makes sense. I mean, he was with that team for a long time, and of course, he's also a meme because he did that post-game interview where he was like, "That's a joke. It's a joke, is what it is."
I love how you looked around for Mike just in case you're like, ugh.
Well, yeah, I want to make sure that I don't end up getting like my neck split open, or it's like that guy from Game of Thrones who gets his throat ripped out.
And then first place.
And then number 1 is Al Arbor with the New York Islanders with 740 wins. Honestly, yeah, that's a crazy number. And the thing is like, it's not even that surprising considering the fact that he oversaw a dynasty with the Islanders back in the 80s. I mean,
he did.
He was an amazing coach, led them to 4 straight championships, was an absolute king. It makes sense, and it's crazy because I'm pretty sure the St. Louis Blues had him as their head coach when they first started, and then they were like, and then he had some kind of issue with ownership, and he chose to get the heck out of there. So that's funny. That's really funny.
I completely understand. So moving on to.
Oh wait! I still have one more thing. Sorry. This is the thing that I meant to say earlier. John Tortorella, head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, has been fired. Apparently, this came after some heated words with Cam York, and so it's crazy to see. I mean, John Tortorella, he is honestly one of the most hated coaches in the NHL, and it makes sense as to why. I mean, you know, he's a bit of a
hothead.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hothead. You know, he will not.
How do you think the Columbus Blue Jackets felt after his incident? After not getting us a great, after not getting the Blue Jackets a great season, and also having not only internal problems with some of the players, that's the reason why he was released. So with Philadelphia releasing them, they are currently 9th in the wild card, which we don't know if it was because specifically of the altercation and the heated words that he had with the player, or if it's just because of the performance that he's done.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like John Tortorella. He's a guy that he has a lot of high expectations. I mean, he won a cup with Tampa Bay back in 2004, and like he's always had very high expectations. He wants the best out of you, so he's one of those guys where it's like you either love him or you absolutely despise everything about him. So, in my opinion, I do kind of understand why he's getting fired, and he's recently been replaced with interim head coach Brad Shaw. So we'll have to see how he works out. Yeah. So looking at the standings, currently in the NHL, in the East, the Washington Capitals lead the Metropolitan. That's no surprise. And
by how much?
Pretty big margin. 103 points to Carolina's 94 points, who's in second. And then in third place are the Devils. I don't really expect much from the Devils this year after losing Jack Hughes and whatnot.
You never know. In the Atlantic,
the Toronto Maple Leafs lead at
number
one.
I don't want to see that.
I hate it so much.
I know, with 94 points, tied for second technically is Tampa Bay Lightning at 91 points, but also
the Florida Panthers.
You're hated the team that you do not like.
I mean, I trust me. I hate the Leafs way more, but you know it's
true. But
it's fine. There's levels to it. But yeah, so Tampa Bay is currently tied with the Florida Panthers right now at 91 points.
In the wild card.
Oh my! The Ottawa Senators are currently up there. I gotta say, I'm surprised by Ottawa being up there. I mean,
Yes.
I gotta say, I'm liking it a lot because I mean, I don't hate Ottawa. I don't have big issues with Ottawa. I mean, they've had with Linus Omar coming in net. I think that was a great move getting rid of Korpisalo, who was not good for them, and then other guys like Batherson and Stutzla and Brady Tkachuk have been pretty good. So I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Ottawa, but I'm also liking what I'm seeing out of the second wildcard team, the Montreal Canadiens. Now I know that you're upset, but cry. I mean, their team has been really good. I mean, they're still trying to get back to the postseason after 2021, and they're still struggling with the loss of their star goaltender Carey Price.
Yes.
Who I don't even think is. I don't even know what's going on with him anymore. But I mean, their players have been very good. Cole Caulfield and Suzuki and Slavkovsky are good as usual. Lane Hudson has been an outstanding player this year. He's definitely stood out. They're working really well even after all the injuries that they've suffered. I like Montreal's chances. This could be their first time making it back since 2021, where they did lose to the finals against the Lightning, and this could be Ottawa's first time making it to the playoffs since 2017, where they randomly pulled a playoff run out and then they lost in Game 7, and they had yet to recover from it for a while because their owner sucked.
Take a breath for a minute.
I don't need to. I'm drinking Coca-Cola and I'm being filled by ADHD.
But just outside of the wild card standings, first off,
we're regretting everything.
How these guys have made a comeback from being nearly in the bottom, if not at the bottom of the Eastern standings when we first did this. The New York Rangers,
I'll tell you how,
are way behind. They have we cursed ourselves. Well,
JT Miller.
We've jinxed ourselves with all that.
I'm going to say JT Miller's the reason why.
And of course, yes.
I mean, getting him back was a great move. I mean, he played for the Rangers for a while, so I think he's definitely helping.
Hopefully it is. Columbus Blue Jackets are just 2 spots out. But the Columbus Blue Jackets were in there. But unfortunately, after the loss that we had to Ottawa just a few days ago, I figured we would drop out. We did beat some team. Who was it?
You beat somebody. Good on you for once.
I can't remember, but they won in overtime. Well, shootout, and hopefully I could see. If you had a dark horse in the East, who do you think is the dark horse?
I'm going to say Ottawa, honestly. I mean, like Ottawa. The Ottawa Senators, I think, have definitely made a comeback because I mean, last year was just it felt like they were just in limbo, but they're starting to make a comeback, and again, with how their team is really starting to come back to form with guys like Linus Ullmark in net and a lot of other really good players. I'm liking what they're doing here, so I think they might have a legitimate shot at doing something interesting. But I'm also not counting out Montreal because we saw a few years ago in 2021 how they managed to go all the way to the finals when nobody gave them a chance. I mean, nobody gave them a chance to get against Toronto, and they managed to make sure that they blew a 3-1 series lead so everybody could laugh at them again. If
I had to go with the dark horse, I'm going with the team that we jinxed at the beginning of our podcast, or when we first started this. I am going to have to go with the New York Rangers. I think they make it into the wild card just barely. I think they make it into the wild card, and I think they make at least a decent run. I don't think they make it all the way, but I think they make a decent run in there. So, series or playoffs start in a couple of weeks, but let's move on to the other half.
I do have a question. Who would you like? Not dark horse, but just who do you think overall is going to take the
Stanley
East?
Cup? Oh, in the East.
Take the East.
Okay, so win the East.
I was stalling because my phone wouldn't let me go to the standings again.
I'm making a bold move, but it's going to be the obvious choice. They have been dominant all season, no matter if it's just one guy carrying them, the Great 8. I'm going Washington winning the East. That's just me.
Bold choice. I mean, I'll be honest, I understand why you say that, but the reason why I'm going to disagree with you here is not because I'm biased, but because I don't trust the Capitals. And I'll explain why.
Yes, but
looking back at their history. Steph just waved. So looking back at their history, whenever the Capitals have been first in the division and first in the East, it's like, oh, the Capitals are going to do good. And then 9 times out of 10, they've completely blown it. And sure, while they're perpetual owners in the Pittsburgh Penguins are not in the postseason because they suck chunks this year, the reason why I don't trust them is because it's not just them. You have other teams like Montreal has beaten them when they were really good in the East. You had New York beating them when they were really good in the East. You had the Lightning beating them when they were good in the East. I mean, they were first in the East. In the division back in 2011, and they won a series against the Rangers, I think, and then they got swept by Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Well, I do understand why you say that, and I do think it'd be awesome to see Ovi finally get another cup.
I want to see it.
I just don't trust them. I don't trust the Capitals because of how often they blow this when they end up getting that first place in the East. Yep. So my pick is unbiased. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
I'm going with Tampa Bay because Vasi's rebounded to form. Hedman is doing great at leadership. Our defense is still a bit of a mess, but with guys like Moser back and whatnot, I'm still dead inside about Nick Perbix being a mess. But our forward core is doing great. You have Point scoring an ungodly amount of goals. You have Hagel doing great. Sorelli. You have Kucherov just being a god. I'm liking the Bjorkstrand and Gord trade a lot. Gord hasn't scored yet, so no Gord scored. But I'm liking Bjorkstrand. He's doing great. So I'm liking what Tampa Bay's doing. And the best part, Vasilevsky is back to form after a subpar last couple of seasons. He's finally back to his amazing caliber of play that we've come to know him for. So I personally think that Tampa Bay is going to be will take the East, but we'll definitely have to see. So
moving
going
on
into
now
the West,
after that rant.
You got me into this tangent. So
moving on to the West, in first place and also clinched a playoff spot is the Winnipeg Jets. They are ahead at 106 points. Just behind them is the Dallas Stars, also clinched the spot like we mentioned earlier.
What are they called again?
Dallas Stars.
No, they're called the Salad Bars. All right, continue.
But,
sorry.
Moving on, they're at 100 points, so only 6 points behind. That's going to be a good one. At number 3, you got the Colorado Avalanche. Don't you say anything. With 93 points. And then you move on to the Pacific.
In the Pacific Division, the Vegas Golden Knights lead it with 98 points, so they're first in the division. Then following them are the Los Angeles Kings. They are currently 91 points, and the Edmonton Oilers are in third in the Pacific with 89.
Looks like Connor McDavid can't help. Wait,
no, because I'm pretty sure him and Leon are both injured right now, but I don't know. And then heading into the wild card, the Minnesota Wild are at 87. And they are currently tied with St. Louis at 87 points. So,
and then the first two teams out of the wild card is Vancouver Canucks with 81 points and Calgary Flames with 80 points.
Vancouver's been a mess.
They have been a mess, but at the same time, you never know what's going to happen. If I had to look through all of these and say who I think, it's going to be hard. St. Louis is somewhat making a little bit of a comeback after they hadn't done well at first.
They were just a team.
Dallas and Winnipeg they're proving to be the two teams to beat right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to beat those two teams, especially Winnipeg being dominant.
Oh, yeah.
But if I had to go with a dark horse to possibly pull it out, I would have to say Edmonton makes a run, a little bit of a run. I don't know how long Connor McDavid is out for, if he is injured, but I think they still make a run. The only reason I'm not saying Colorado is because Colorado, yes, they are good, but if they have to go up against a couple of other teams, it's going to be hard. So who do you have as a dark horse?
I will say this about Edmonton, like I understand why you say that, but my biggest issue with them, goaltending. Stuart Skinner is still he's still suffering from Mike Smith syndrome, where it's like he's playing great one minute and then crappy the next. But my personal dark horse, I'm gonna say Los Angeles. I'm liking what I said it
one spot ahead.
Yeah, I said it last time, but I like what LA is doing. I mean, you have Darcy Kemper coming back to his form.
Yeah.
You have great solid forwards like Kopitar, Kempe, Denal. You have Kevin Fiala. And Quentin Byfield is still doing great. I mean, have you seen that guy? He's an incredible forward, and he's still very young. And their defense is good. I mean, with Drew Doughty back, it's great. So I'm liking what LA is doing and stuff like that. So I think they could go on a bit of a run this year. Like, I don't think they're like, and I mean, you have their other past seasons where they've won the Stanley Cup. I mean, 2012, nobody really gave them a chance because they were just kind of there. And then out of nowhere, bam, they won the Cup. I mean, after beating New Jersey in 6 and stuff like that. I mean, and sure, they had Jonathan Quick literally being like putting on one of the greatest playoff performances ever as a goalie.
Yes.
Sure, Quick isn't there anymore, but I don't know. I think LA has a legitimate shot.
They may have a shot,
but you never know. As long as they don't face the Oilers in the first round, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah. As I look at this now, if I had to choose somebody to win in the West, I am down to specifically 2 teams. Only because it's hard to root against them right now. Just like how I said in the East, it is hard to root against these 2 teams. So it's going to be very hard to choose between Winnipeg and Dallas. I can't choose one or the other because I would say these 2 come down and face each other somewhere before the Western Conference Finals or in the Western Conference Finals. And I couldn't tell you who could come out as the winner. But I know it's going to be down to those 2. I cannot choose one specifically.
Yeah, I think Dallas might end up take the West, but
I could see that.
So, because I mean, again, you have all their amazing all their amazing players doing a fantastic job over there.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I think it could be Dallas, but at the same time, I don't want to count out Winnipeg. I mean, sure, they had a great season last year, and then they got embarrassed in the postseason, but we'll have to see. So, I think there is one team that you and I have not been talking about enough.
Oh, Lord.
So this is gonna be a shocking take. So get ready. I personally think, hear me out, that the Houston Texans will end up winning the Stanley Cup because of their amazing players like Michael Jordan. And we cannot forget their first baseman, Babe Ruth, and of course you have Venus Williams playing as a goaltender. So go Sportsball. Oh, and also the league might be expanding. It might be expanding to Houston and Atlanta.
We'll see how it goes.
So could we at least talk about that real quick before we're down here? So here's my
talk about that a little bit.
So apparently there's been a lot of talk that the NHL is possibly going to be expanding to Houston and Atlanta. There's been a lot of complaining, specifically from Canada, about this. So here's the thing. I understand why people are upset about Atlanta because they've already had 2 teams and stuff like that. And I mean, the Flames got run out of. The Flames lost their team because of all kinds of crap. And then you have the Thrashers. That got lost because Atlanta Spirit is absolute garbage. Yep. But here's the thing. I feel like if they come back with competent ownership, it could work out. And also, I find it funny that people are like, oh, Atlanta's had 2 teams. So is Quebec. Quebec had the Bulldogs when the NHL first started, and then they had the Nordiques. Who were there for a while. And then Eric Lundros said, "I don't want to play for you," and then he left. And as for Houston, I think it could be cool because there is hockey history in Houston because of the Arrows in the WHA with guys like Gordie Howe and Mark Howe. So I think it could be cool, but I don't think Quebec should get a team anytime soon because I mean, come on, they moved to Colorado. Who the hell wants to play for the Avalanche?
We will see you guys on the next episode.